Model-based test automation in ServiceNow, a rapid and complete solution to testing ServiceNow apps using ATF. At the heart of the reactive test automation framework is Test Modeler. This is where you can design a model of the system logic. We have many accelerators to get started with Test Modeler, through recordings, process logs to uncover legacy applications, existing test cases, Gherkin with BDD, and also existing diagrams through BPMN and Visio models. Once we have a model in Test Modeler, we can create an optimized set of automated test cases with the corresponding test data. These optimized test cases can be pushed into the ServiceNow platform using the ATF framework. When we execute the test, we capture the run results and synchronize them back to Test Modeler and any project management systems we've linked to along the way. So let's jump into the demo. I've split the demo up into a few components so you can skip through. So we're inside ServiceNow here, and this is the form that we're going to be testing, which you can go into and create new users from. There's a few validation rules sat in the background here, like if you enter a department which does not exist, an error message appears. What we've done inside Test Modeler here is modeled the logic of the application and how it should behave. Here the model is split into two areas: the positive scenarios where we end up successfully adding a user, and the negative scenarios where we end up in some error state. Everything in between the start and end points are the user scenarios we go through to end up in one of these conditions. Ending up adding a user successfully means going through adding some valid data combinations. Ending up in an error state stems from going down, entering some erroneous data. So here we have all of our data attributes. In this case, we've modeled 5 attributes: the first name, last name, title, department, and email, along with the different equivalence classes for each of these inputs. Once we have a model defined, we can overlay test data. Here we've created 5 data variables: a first name, last name, title, department, and email. Throughout the model, we can assign to these variables. So if we take a look at some of the blocks here, what we'll see is an assignment is taking place. Here we've clicked on the valid first name block, and what we'll see here is that we're assigning to the first name variable, but we have a data expression in here. If I click the edit button, you'll see our data editor window appear, and this is where we have a wealth of synthetic data generation functions available for different internet activities, phone numbers, names, financials, and much, much more. There are over 500 synthetic data generation functions available, and it is fully extendable, so you can create your own functions and also go into back-end databases to push and pull the necessary data for your automation. All of this uses Excel in the background, so we can also overlay conditional logic, formulas, and string manipulation. Here we've selected a synthetic first name. Whenever we pass through this block, a new first name will be generated. As we look through the model here, we'll see that we're assigning different combinations of static data along with synthetic data. Once we have our test data overlaid, we can overlay test automation actions. Inside Test Modeler, we have an action pack available for ServiceNow, where we can go in and perform activities on the forms. Here we've specified to open the user form by calling an open form action available and specifying the form we want to automate. If we look at some of the endpoints here, we'll see we have automation recipes defined for automating across the different inputs in the form. Here we're entering a first name, entering a last name, entering a title, department, email, and clicking submit, along with binding the appropriate test data which we've set throughout the model. You'll see here as I go through the different automation scenarios and assertions that are taking place. We're now going to create some automated test cases. To do that, we can come in here and instantly click the generate button, which is going to go off and generate the minimum number of tests which maximize coverage across our model. Here we've got 12 test cases which have been generated, and I can go through and view the different paths and deviations those tests are exercising. What we've done here is we've created two coverage profiles which allow us to be more flexible over the tests we generate. Firstly, we've created a profile for negative tests, and here we've said we want to apply a low level of coverage to our negative scenarios, and we want to ignore our positive or happy path scenarios. So you'll see here from the generation, all of our tests are focused on the negative endpoints here, as so. We've also got a positive test suite here, which is testing our happy paths. Here we've stated we want to ignore our negative data combinations and apply a low level of coverage across our positive scenarios. Here we can see the positive test cases. Now we have our tests defined, we can export these into ServiceNow. We're just going to hit the Run button and select our ServiceNow process and hit Execute. Our job's complete, so we'll go back over to ServiceNow, and what we'll see here is a test suite that's been created called User Form. What we'll see inside here are our 6 positive tests that have been exported, and we can now go through in ServiceNow and hit the Run Test Suite button, which is going to execute our test suite using the test runner. Now our tests have executed, we'll go back into Test Modeler here, click Close, we'll do a refresh, and what we'll see here are that the run results have been synchronized back to Test Modeler, and we can see those results overlaid on top of our paths. We'll see all of our tests passed here and were successful. Thanks for watching this video. Please visit curiositysoftware.ie to discover more.